day, not as one voice, but as the echo of many, as a herald of truth, and as a vessel for the divine will. In this moment, let us cast away illusion. Let us stand firm in the light, and let us open ourselves to the wisdom that has been ordained for the beginning of time. May these words awaken, may they empower, and may they serve as a beacon for all who seek the path of righteousness and ascension. The time is now, the calling is clear, so let us begin. My beloved collective, I stand before you not only to speak, but to bring clarity to something many of you have felt, but could not fully name. There has been a pattern, a quiet, calculated disruption that has taken place in the lives of many among us. And it did not begin yesterday. It began in moments where you were distracted, in seasons where you were healing, in periods where you were trusting. And during those moments, there were those individuals close to you, people who you allowed in your space, friends, partners, exes, even blood, who moved in a way that was not aligned with truth. They studied your position. They understood your assets. They knew what belonged to you. And instead of protecting it, they positioned themselves to take it. Let me give you an example. There was one among the collective who inherited a home from a grandparent. A home filled with memory, with history, with foundation. During a time when they were navigating emotional hardship, grieving, trying to stabilize themselves, a trusted individual stepped in, offering help. I'll take care of the paperwork, my dear. I'll manage things for you. I'll make sure everything is secure, sugar pie. But behind that assistance, documents were altered, signatures were manipulated, ownership was quietly shifted. By the time the truth surfaced, the home had already been sold. And the one who rightfully owned it was left asking, how did something that was mine disappear? Another story. A member of the collective, a working hard, building slowly individual, finally secured a property. Not extravagant, but stable. A place to rest, a place to grow. But during a relationship, one rooted in manipulation and control, they were convinced to share access. Names were added, decisions were influenced, and over time, through pressure, confusion, and emotional instability, documents were signed that should have never been signed. And one day, they were no longer the owner. They were removed from what they built. And another, a family situation where multiple relatives were involved. An estate, land, resources meant to be divided fairly. But behind closed doors, one or two individuals took control of the process, you see. False statements were made. Information was withheld. Legal systems were manipulated through perjury. And what should have been shared was quietly absorbed, leaving others with nothing. Now, hear me clearly. These are not isolated incidents. This is a pattern of forged documentation, false testimony under oath, manipulation of legal processes, exploitation of trust, strategic timing during vulnerability. And the intention behind it was simple: to remove your foundation. Because when someone removes your home, they're not just taking the building, they're removing stability, security, mental clarity, financial grounding, future posture positioning. They are attempting to delay your evolution. But I stand before you today to declare something with absolute certainty. This does not stand. Not under truth, not under order, not under rightful alignment, and certainly not under my authority. There has been an assumption that once something is taken, once it is sold, once it is transferred, that it is gone forever. But that assumption is rooted in limitation, because what was taken through deception is not secured by legitimacy. It is held temporarily under false positioning. And anything built on false positioning cannot sustain itself indefinitely. Let me shift your perspective. Imagine a house built on sand. From the outside, it may look stable, People may live in it. They may decorate it. They may even believe it belongs to them. But the foundation is weak. And eventually, without warning, it collapses because it was never properly established. That is what has happened with these properties. They may have changed hands. They may have been occupied. They may have been resold. But if the transfer began with deception, then the entire chain is compromised. And now, we are entering a time where compromised chains are being examined, where records are being revisited, where inconsistencies are being uncovered, where truth is no longer buried. And when that happens, what was hidden begins to surface. But understand this, reclamation is not passive. It does not happen because we wish for it. It happens because we recognize what was taken, document what we know, stand firm in truth, refuse to normalize wrongdoing. Because many of you were made to feel, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it wasn't mine. Maybe I signed something wrong. No. You felt what you felt because something was wrong. And now comes the correction. Not just a return of property, not just a return of inheritances, not just a return of your peace of mind, but the return of everything connected to it all. Because if a home was taken from you 5 years, that is 5 years of stability lost, income potential lost, growth delayed, peace disrupted. So restoration is not just a structure, it is a full impact. And I declare this clearly, there will be no rest until every rightful claim is brought into alignment. There will be no silence until fraudulent actions. There will be no acceptance of theft disguised as legality. Because legality without truth is manipulation. And let me speak to those responsible. Those who believed they could take, forge, manipulate, and walk away untouched. Understand this. Time does not erase action, and concealment is not protection. Because truth has a way of surfacing precisely when it needs to. To the collective, stand grounded. Do not panic. Do not rush. Do not move in chaos. Move in clarity. Write down what you remember. Gather what you can. Trust your awareness. Because restoration requires precision. And when this process unfolds, you will not simply return to where you were. You will rise into a position that is more protected, more structured, more aware, more powerful. Because what was taken from you will not just be returned. It will be returned with understanding, so it can never be taken again. We are not a people who remain displaced. We are not a people who remain deceived. We are not a people who accept loss as final. We are a people of restoration. We are a people of reclamation. We are people who bring truth back into position, fully, completely, and without compromise. And I say this with clarity. What was taken will be accounted for. What was moved will be traced. What was lost will be restored. And when it does, when it's done, when it's over, you will not just have your homes back, you will have your foundation restored. Ashe. May the light of truth guide us. May the strength of the divine uphold us. And may the will of the Almighty be fulfilled in all that we do. Let our steps be firm, our hearts be pure, and our purpose unwavering as we walk the path of righteousness, unity, and ascension. And so it is written, so it is spoken, so it shall be. Ashe Samotipi, Inshallah Selah Thastu, and Amen.
The shift has begun. Alignment is no longer optional. To the 15th.
but humanity's search for God is rising. This is not the end. This is the beginning of cosmic governance. A structure becomes a planet becomes a network, and that network becomes the conscience of our species. We build paths for those who will follow.
Your homes were taken in silence, through deception, through lies. But what was taken will be returned. When it returns, it brings life back with it. Know your rights. Reclaim your home. Learn how.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I got in? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe it. You earned this.
Hello?
Hello, this is the Office of Admissions at Arcane Collegium. I'm pleased to inform you that you've been accepted.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
This place is unreal.
Feels like we stepped into a storybook.
And we're in it now.
You ready?
More than ever.
At Arcane Collegium, your journey begins the moment opportunity finds you. One decision, one message, one future. Welcome to Arcane Collegium. Advancing mind, advancing humanity.
That system is over. No crowds, no noise, no influence. Everything